fact is that the individual emotional distressed. Okay, these are special group of people. It appears in a small field of social psychology. Next one is a cognitive psychology. It looks at the mental structure of human being. It also integrates with the brain, the function of brain, the level of brain, and it integrates biology as well. And the level of effects, it's individual thinking. Why do we think in this way? Now, as you know, one of the examples in cognitive psychology is the difference between male and female. Why do males behave differently from females? Or why do girls talk too much or guys do not talk at all? Because in fact, the cognitive psychology, they look at the difference, the biological reason of the humans. Next one example is, this one is for sociology. Let's talk about there are gun crimes happening in USA and also Canada. Okay, it doesn't happen in Malaysia because it's against the law. Okay, the gun crimes. So why do people commit crimes at first? Now, in the perspective of sociology, they look at the up approach. So when I say the up approach, it means they look at the main level of the society. So what they are focusing on is the society, the norms, and the roles, and the social class. Now, gun crimes happen in USA and also Canada. But the question is, why does USA reported more gun crimes than in Canada, even though the population, they have the same population that holds or have gun? So it's from sociology. They look into the society, the structure of the society. Next one, some of the issues they will talk about when they use sociology perspective is the types of gun that they used, because obviously USA and Canada, they use different guns. And also the age group. The age group, what age commits more crimes, okay? When we talk about the gun use, the types of gun use, in Canada, actually, they have guns. But the question is, they use guns for hunting and not killing or protecting. But in the USA, they use guns more on self-defense. Almost every household, they have a gun, and they actually have the license to purchase a gun for self-protection. Yep, so that is why we can see from the sociology perspective that USA reported more crimes because it's in relation with the human behavior. Whereas in Canada, they use it more for hunting, deer hunting. But in social psychology, they're looking at the down approach. The down approach means this is the basic level of the society. We go down to the groups, we go to other smaller groups, and finally, we focus on the individual. The individual means you and me. What social psychology focus more, it's on the cognitive, the affective, or the goal motive cognition. Some of the issues that social psychology would discuss when we talk about gun crimes would be threats. Now, why people use guns? Because we perceive more threats. Let's say in a gun crimes. In Canada, the Canadians will not have much threats, but in America, they would have more threats with gangsterism around. And also, it is always in their conscience that they need to protect themselves in a society that is not safe anymore. As the world is getting not safer, people tend to become more careful. Yep. Next one that we would think about is authority. Authority and the guns. We would think about guns. Usually, it's possessed by the police, by people who are given the right to have the gun or to fire someone. Or also conformity. Conformity means why do people use gun or why do people act cowardly at the presence of the gun. Now, why is it important to study social psychology? First, we tend to overemphasize personality. Personality is one part of psychology. Social psychology is also another part of psychology. If you put one social psychologist and one personality psychologist, the personality psychologist would say personality is everything, and a social psychologist would say social psychology is everything. Now, personality is in fact important. We can't neglect the importance of personality. And even if you look at children in your own house, around your house, or newborn babies, they act differently. Some they tend to be extra happy, some they tend to be reserved, and some they tend to be aggressive, and some they tend to be a bit down. Now, these are all the nature which is their part of their psychology, which is part of their personality. So, just now we talk about the importance of personality. We cannot neglect the importance of personality. But here, social psychology look at the importance of the society as well. I mean, if you were to ask me which is more important, we cannot always put the blame on the situation which we look through the social psychology, or we cannot sometimes put all the blame on the personality of the person. Sometimes it is the interaction between the two. And that's why if you were to ask me which one is more important, I would say both is more important. Next one, we tend to underestimate the power of the situation. Situation, in fact, they have the power to bring an influence towards our actions, our behaviors, and also our thoughts. Now, there's one case done by Shand and Levine in 1972. Now, they made an experiment which has the woman drop folders full of paper, and also whether there is a dime in the public fund versus no dime. So 4%, only 4% of the people, they help the woman when there's no dime. But in the presence of dime, 88% of the people, they help the woman. So the question is, why would people tend to help more when there is the presence of the dime? The dime here refers to the coins. And also explanation based solely on personality are incomplete. We can't base just on the personality. Sometimes we have to look at the situation. Let's say a person who cheats or a person who breaks the law. Sometimes other than just the personality, we have to look at the social part of the person. Why does the person have more tendency to break the law? Maybe because the person is living in a place where it is not safe at all, compared to the person who is living in a mansion full of security guard. Now, that's why we have to look in terms of social psychology to determine what is the outcome of the person and the cause of the person. Most often, when the judge put on judgments on the person, the judge do not do that. Why? Because the judge look at just the book of law, which is different from psychologists. We look more on the social psychology as well as the personality. Now, some of the wisdom phrases that's related to social psychology. The first one is better to be safe and sorry. Number two heads are better than one. Number three, birds of a feather flock together. Number four, strike while the iron is hot. Or number five, absence makes the heart grow fonder. The first one, better safe than sorry. It means nothing ventured, nothing gained. Now, sometimes people say it's better for you to be safe than for you to be sorry. Better safe to be sorry. You might not know what might happen to you, but your parents would say it's better for you not to join the singing competition. It's better for you not to join entertainment. Well, because it's a very, they perceive to be very dangerous field to go into. But some people would say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you don't take that chance, you might not even be famous at all. It's because by chance, by you being one to become someone, and you take the chance and risk, you manage to become someone.